Desire required to make it to the top. Hunger in my belly, it'll never stop. Fire burning, I'ma save it for the ops. Clock running out, who gon' take the shot? Me. In this episode, we get to see what unity looks like. These brothers have over 300 years of incarceration amongst them. We gonna tell their story. Let's get it.
Who is that?
This the dopest. That's the dopest king. He gonna introduce himself, but right now I'm gonna go around. That right there, that's the bro too right there. This is Big G Slim from Inglewood family. That right there is what we were talking about from the front.
He in Texas.
That's Big Sherm.
Yeah, he in Texas.
From the front, brother.
That's a little yeah, that's a little
Right? I'm gonna go around. This right here is the homie Ron about the OVGs. OVGCs, man.
Formerly Slight.
You see what I'm saying? That right there, that's my boy. I told you you're gonna like him as soon as you meet him. The boys from Compton different. That's the homie Jessie Mo.
West Side Poetry.
Bingo. That's the homie right there. Listen, man. All these dudes right now, we on Treasure Island. We all on Treasure Island celebrating. Guys who just come home. We pull up for the bros. You know what I'm saying? The homie B called everybody, wanted us to get together to celebrate being out. This is a different perspective than what most people might see or understand what happens when you parole after doing no less than 27 years in prison out here. Because everybody right here done numbers, life sentence. You know what I mean? But you begin to see that everybody is from different locations, different hoods, different sets, came out, worked together, lived together, and everybody else don't see this often. You feel me?
Yes, indeed.
So it's like you have to. That's the narrative that I called you on to like show you that it ain't a lie. Like it really is from Bay to LA with dudes who been incarcerated. Yeah, no, I told them we was gonna pull up and do jump on when it was today, when all the bros was coming out and hanging out. And you see this where we at. We up on the Treasure Island. You know what I'm saying? Jessie Mo.
Where's Jessie Mo?
Jessie Mo right there.
It's still me, homie. It's still me.
Yeah.
All the death rumors they ain't true.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Out working, being productive, got his own spot. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like really.
That's BG right there from Kelly Park.
Yeah, that's BG right there.
BG, what's happening, King? Hey, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. See, like, y'all get to see these different people from different sections, Bloods, Crips, whatever. Like he said, you even got some white power brothers.
The Muslims. And the Muslims. All you dudes out there that Shahada-tain Muslims.
Let's go. Let's go.
Wallahi.
It's a beautiful thing, man. They achieving something together. You know what I'm saying? They not ops. This is black people working together, man, to help each other get to the next rung on the ladder. You know what I'm saying? Elevation.
Come here. Yeah, this right here is trial and tribulation. This is dudes coming to grips with the reality. You did, like the reality is real dudes have really went to prison and really, really crimes against the community, from my perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's like we've all been on the yard. I was in the hole in Tehaspie with B. I was in prison in Pelican Bay with Sherm. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the guys in Folsom and stuff with Jessie Mo. So it's like a lot of the guys, when I was a young guy, these are the guys that I was on the yard with. So it's easy for us to interact out here. You know what I mean? So if you see guys who've already been successful, already come through the same trials, they done been to the shoe. And that's one thing, we don't try to play tough with each other. You know what I'm saying? The tough guy thinking,
Right.
we already done that. We already been to the shoe. None of us are the toughest guys who ever walked. And that's a theme that, that what they call hyper masculinity, like you the G is dude. It don't work like that. Nobody in prison is scared of anybody on a level 4. I've told you that. So when you come out and you recognize that, man, your emotional equilibrium changes. You dig what I'm saying? You no longer just riding the ride. You riding for things that are near and dear to your heart, your children, your family. While you in there, you don't go to funerals. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All of us done been to guys' funerals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you really do have to come to grips with reality. And
Yes,
it's
man.
easy for the dudes who ain't never really sat down for all that time to critique or bang against what it was, or but go sit down, go do 30,
Right.
go do
Right.
30 though,
Right.
go do 30, man. And then now it's different than back then when I went in the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Back then you used to have to stand up and fight one-on-one. It wasn't no 20 phase and 30 phase. It was just you and dude.
Facts.
They wouldn't let you pack out their homie, but it wasn't like you had to come up in there and just run. It wasn't. I've been in 4800 when I was a member.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have fights in there, 47. You know what I'm saying? Uh, As a juvenile. So I'm just saying things change, and then we start critiquing and banging on things that we don't understand. And it creates further division. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if we on the yard, we all go in the canteen, we all black.
And
You
I
dig what
just
I'm
wanted to
saying?
say this real quick, King. Like, me and you, man, our conversation yesterday, man, it was powerful, brother. And I just want people to actually be able to see, man, that it's soldiers behind this move we making to enlighten y'all, man. We got a lot of stuff we come in content wise that's not the buffoonery. Uh, these
Far
are
from it.
strong, intelligent black men, some of whom made mistakes. They take accountability for their mistakes and they elevating and they here to elevate others. And that's what we on.
For sure. That's the movement. Me and Black Boy, me and Abdul Aziz, we had this saying that we got from the Honorable Marcus Garvey: one aim, one God, one destiny. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a unity thing. That dude is from Los Angeles. I am from the east side of Long Beach.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 55. I'm not 25. I didn't go to prison in 96. I went to prison in 87. So the
Hmm.
mentality from what I came from was different. His mentality was different, but that I rocked with that dude in the pen for years.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I lived in the cell with that dude at Calipatria. You know what I'm saying? On B
Hmm.
facility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, the authenticity, we don't have to, like you say, with the buffoonery. It's not a
Yeah.
who's is the biggest and who's not the biggest. It's us understanding what connects us, what unites us in the
Right.
face of what we know is happening in the community in America right now. Think about um, what's happening.
Hmm.
Broaden your perspective. You know what I mean? And we're not doing that because we're so insular, meaning that we only focus on what's happening on the block. But everybody on the block trying to make money off the block to get off the block,
Facts.
right?
Facts.
So we talked yesterday about the crabs in the barrel mentality. And I told you, I said, but bro, crabs in the barrel, that's not natural to a crab. Who
Right.
put the crabs in the barrel in the
To
first
begin
place?
with. Right.
And
Right.
why do we keep using those examples as things to prove that we as a people can't come together? We're using absurdities to further divide us. Absurdities created by people who have turned us into human cattle for the world to feed off of. Come on, Brent. I'm walking with my dog. So it's like it's a bigger. Then we talked about Pac. This is what I wanted to say too. We talked about Tupac, Amaru Shakur. Um, the narrative that I first hit EB with was 50 Cent, the rapper, said something about him being fake or not being real, um, and he was made up. First of all, there is no gangsters. Come on, Brent. There is there there is no um, gangsters that have ever been produced that will ever lead a people anywhere. Come on, Brent. Nowhere. So the gangster ethic that most of us take are from the whites, right? So you go back to the whites, go back to the Cuban Revolution in 1959 when the most powerful mafia at that particular time was the Italians. They had Cuba. When Fidel Castro took over, what did they do? Meyer Lansky and all those dudes who was powerful, what did they do? They got the f- out the way. Revolutionaries stand on a whole different principle.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't just say he was a fake. No, he was raised by people with a black liberation mindset. You can't take guys like who I used to be, who was raised with a mentality of nigga kill nigga and capitalism trying to, reduce that to or build that up to mean that that make you a man. Well, let's see who created the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
Gangsterism is what white men left black people to compete with.
Mm.
You have never gone at them,
Right.
right?
That
That's the truth,
that
bro.
and that's what we saying. We don't have the same intensity or aggression towards them. You know what I mean? No,
Not
that's
because we're not even listen. We're not enlightened to be so. You know, this again, the crabs in the barrel is an effective tool because it gives you an excuse to be against each other. You in a barrel, you trying to get yours, right? So once that becomes your mindset, that becomes your activity. Your thoughts come before your feelings. So we have to understand what has led us to this. You have to remember, bro, as far as I can tell or remember, Raymond Washington, rest in peace, he was a young guy.
facts.
He wasn't a 35-year-old man. He wasn't a 40-year-old man who had gone through the trials and tribulations of life. As a black man, he was a young black man going through the trials and tribulations of life, which was he was surrounded by gangs, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided, for whatever reasons or purpose or pressure, to respond to his environment. And that's what he created. That doesn't mean it doesn't have potential.
Right.
But if it's unguided, if it's not founded in the black experience, rooted in the black experience of being chattel slaves, meaning that they make money off of you coming and going. They put a $20 in your pocket, in your left pocket, and take $40 out of your right pocket, and you glad for the exchange because you in a boardroom doing business with people who are exploiting us as a people globally.
Yeah.
50 Cent said something about he don't talk politics and religion. Who you think taught him that? See,
That's
that's the problem with us, bro. They didn't teach me. I taught myself. I was in the pen reading those books by myself. By the
yeah.
grace and mercy of Allah, brother, that happened. You dig what I'm saying? So when we talk about reading these books and understanding and being able to apply it, not just knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. If it's not applied,
Yeah, then it's just knowledge.
it's just a lie. Remember, I told you it's a library. It don't pay a bill and it don't cut on a light.
Facts.
Libraries store books, information, knowledge. You
Yeah.
have to apply the information. That's what they have done. They have changed everything to suit them. Remember, the white population makes up 7 to 9% of the world's population, but they enjoy the vast amount of the world's resources.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call chattel slavery. Ox, goats. They used the Bible to back it up, saying that we will be forever cursed to be hewers of wood, labor, for them to enjoy. And then we fight over the scraps. We go to a white dude who sits there and benefits. What? He wouldn't even be on our side of the yard in the pen.
A fact.
I don't know if you ever been to the penitentiary. What's the name of that podcast right there? But Dopest King. The Dopest King podcast. Yep.
Oh,
He wouldn't
Dopest
even be on
TV.
our side of the
Dopest
yard.
TV. Dopest TV.
Dopest TV. Hey, Dopest TV. The Dopest TV. Yep. He
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
even be on our side of the yard.
Dopest TV.
Yeah, Space TV. Yes, sir. Hey, I ain't gonna
Let me tell
lie.
you what.
Hey, look, I'm over here teasing because I told you, man, I've been anxious to get to work. You know what I mean?
We at work.
Yeah, we at work, man, and I'm happy to be able to get this message out, man, and people start to I see in the comments, man, the comments are they very receptive to what you saying. Uh and yeah, y'all make sure y'all share this and hit that like button, man. This needs to be heard ASAP,
Yeah,
like
like
yesterday.
Brent. Yeah, no. It's it's that and more. Like it's a real solidarity. Like that's why we pull up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we support each other. We live in the same buildings. We work together. You know what I'm saying? So it's a camaraderie. It's a support system. You know what they say, Gen X. I was born in 1969, man. I'm 55. I'm not a kid.
Right.
I went to the pen at 17 and got out when I was 51. 31 of the 34 was on a level 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the toughest dude. I didn't get in every function. You know what I'm saying? I don't,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that ain't me. But the resume is what it is.
Stay solid.
Listen, to try to do anything else, this is how you trip up, slip up, and fall. Because you're trying to be something that you're not.
Deep in the game
Yeah,
and got the rules, Mister.
He left a blueprint on what not to do.
yeah.
You know, and so when you see the what I was saying to the brothers about Kwanzaa and these types of things that are laid out for our success and our unity, our culture and things like that, the youth or the bros and the sisters that still caught up and got that way is I'm never on that. Remember, I told you I would never be disrespectful to the people in my community.
Mm-hmm.
Allah says in the book, the Quran Kareem, he says, you were as they are, meaning that you came out of a condition, mental condition that they could still be in, right? This is called Jahiliyyah, or in the new modern era, we call it Neo-Jahiliyyah, meaning ignorance, right? Because if you're fighting against your own self-realization, you cannot tell me that that's not ignorance, brother.
And you know what I noticed?
You can,
You're not gonna see some of them same cats. And that's why I titled this It's a New Day, Black People, and everybody can't go. Everybody ain't gonna be able to go. So some of them same people that you see in my comments, that these the conversations they scared of interjecting
come on,
themselves into.
Maria, come on.
Because uh I noticed one thing about and I gotta look up the word for it, and maybe y'all could help me. Um, it's like sometimes we scared of our own success, and so we run from it. It's like we know inherently that us working together can achieve anything. You know what I mean? And only thing separating us from that is us. But however,
True.
we continue down that path of, like Brother Adisa said, of ignorance, and I'm in a cleansing stage. Do you understand what I'm
Uh,
saying? I'm cleansing.
mm,
That means
we all are.
I gotta cut people off in order to grow. It's like it's like I got weeds around me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I gotta cut them weeds off before they strangle me. You
But
understand what
but
I'm saying?
but let me say this to you. What I said about the opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
As they are, I was means that Allah had grace and mercy upon me to allow me to use the intellect that He gave me to change. So I was a weed, or was I a rose that grew from concrete? Right?
Facts.
I'm talking about like no cap. When you in that cell by yourself, remember, bro, I didn't have family and all that people with me. The homies was the family. My homie
Right.
Crybaby and them was my homie Rockhead and them from Long Beach, from the east side, Insanes and 20s. Them was the homies. The homies from SOS, them was the homies. Big Shock and them was the homies.
Yeah.
Salt Lake Avenue, them was the homies. King Park, them was the homies. So when you go to prison, that becomes your family. I grew up in foster care and all that. Inglewood, California. 7715 South Victoria. I went to Inglewood High in 84. I've been around. When you in the foster homes and all that, bro, you get tossed back and forth. So I've been all over Compton, all that. And been in prison with all of them. With Park say, EB, they got us all meeting up in prison.
Right. All right.
And we all met up in the pen. We all met up in the pen. Dudes who you up in the county jail banging against, now them is the dudes you fighting the other ethnic groups with.
Right. Right. They become your closest friends.
Them become your allies because y'all all black. And so I took it from there and then give it back.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? Because for me, it was about education, but it was about at first and foremost, because I was a Crip, it was about educating the Crips or the homies, because that's who put the books in your hand. Them is the ones who are got your back when you in prison. They the ones feeding you. That's your support system. You know what I'm saying? That's your group of brothers, and they from every diverse group of Crips.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm on a tier with guys from Raymond Avenue, dudes from 60, dudes from 30s, dudes from Compton, 3, 4 sales of Blackstones and Swans, all in the same on the same tier. When we come out on the front bar, that's who we go to chow with. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Yeah.
I never let that go because it was all about evolving. I'm gonna read the book on Frederick Douglass. What does the 4th of July mean to a slave? That hit me.
Mm-hmm.
13th Amendment to the United States Constitution forbids slavery except if you're duly convicted. Nigga, I've been duly convicted. Transported to Chino forthwith. I didn't even know what the fuck forthwith meant. Looked it up,
Right.
nigga, immediately.
Area of it.
Tie this nigga to the front of the bus so don't nothing beat this nigga here.
Hey, but you know why you saying that? I'm sitting here like, look behind you, man. That's beautiful, man. Like just seeing that
Yeah,
right there, that's beautiful, brother. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
That's
I enjoy
beautiful.
it. This is what you call self-care.
Yeah,
That's what it
yeah.
looked like because I'm hyper vigilant.
What lake is that right there?
Oh, I don't know. We on Treasure Island, so I don't know. This the bay. I think. I'm from the east side, so we only used to the Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
yeah, this the bay, man. This Treasure Island, man. They got places out here where ex-convicts, and people, women can come out and get support and housing and all of that. Come here, Brent. They can come out and get housing and all that. You know what I mean? So But getting back to how you evolve in there, it's a thing that happens. It's a process. I met EB in Lancaster after the case that they caught. So I met him when he's money up. He big guy. He a hell of a dude from over there. But nigga, you can't go to the canteen with no more money than I can. So you a slave too.
Yeah, ain't no question.
So that's come on, Ren, come here. That's our conversations and I'm younger than him by a couple years. His money was always bigger than mine, but that information was real. And that's how we built a camaraderie. We used to buff together on the yard and all that. But I was into the militancy. I was into the books. I was into applying what I knew, first and foremost to the homies. But after that, I realized the homies didn't want to go nowhere. We wanted to still be on the juvenile behavior. You know what I'm saying? The closest I think the Crips got to being successful, from my opinion, being in prison, was when we was in prison, when we had that structure. But then the question begs, well, how come you couldn't reproduce that in the streets about the community or the unity and all of that? Because guys gave it up to fit back into the street. Instead of running the streets, they let the streets run them. They overbearing, you over dominant, you talking to the youngsters like they don't matter. It could be any number of things. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But because everybody got dead homies.
Right.
That's a new term, but that's not a new happening.
Facts.
They was homies that was dead before y'all got on. I done ran across a lot of dudes that was from where I was from, and they never met Big Earn from Insane. They never met Mick Dog from the 20s. Right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's a historical connection. We grew up with these dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it kind of feels like you being buffaloed. Oh, that don't matter no more. It's just this. Nah, that you're gonna get divided like that. Everybody is you see what I'm saying? That's why I would never be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the message. You want to give them the opportunity to not be weeds. You want to give them the opportunity to be roses that grew from concrete. But if you so tainted by life's experiences, your body language is gonna say you don't want niggas around you, even though you saying you for everybody.
Right.
You got to remember, body language is a very, very big part of communication. This is how white folks fool niggas with money. They body language say acceptance. Have you sit down and all that, sign all that over there, put that baby oil right on your back. Now look at you.
Right.
Now look at you.
Right. And that's what and earlier when I said everybody can't go, that's kind of what I meant. You always
Yeah, for sure. I know.
You always gonna have them people that, they what they call sellouts. You know what I'm saying? They gonna
Listen,
sell
I'm
out.
so deep in it. When John Brown attacked Harper's Ferry, the first person that he had to kill was a Negro slave named Haywood Shepherd, who was running back to tell the white man that another white man was coming to free the niggas. So John Brown had to kill a nigga to free the niggas. J.A. Rogers, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof. Read it. Niggas been selling out.
Yeah.
We can't let that stop the movement.
Exactly. And that's what it is. It's a movement. And
Yeah. They gonna do that, bro. Listen, they gonna find reasons and money and all of that. But again, you can only spend $220 in the state penitentiary. I don't know how much you can spend in the feds.
But it's a cap on it. So whatever you
You
can
listen,
spend.
you listen. Listen. The stock market was stocks in bondage. The first commodity sold on the stock market was you and I, our
Right.
mothers and sisters. All right, hold on, man. So it's like you have to understand like how they flip this on us and how we continue to flip it on each other.
Right.
We make it seem like I'm stupid because I don't want these people to take advantage of me. Do you know that they used to give Little Richard Penniman, the creator of rock and roll, and Chuck Berry a half a penny on royalties?
Mm,
They've been whooping us and robbing us collectively and individually from the time of 1884 when they divided up Africa. The
mm-hmm.
Berlin Conference, bro. This is an organized robbery of us as a people. You can't tell me you know gangster and you know thug. You cannot tell me that in the face of this aggression. Not me.
Yeah, you could tell it to somebody that don't know no
Yeah,
better.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there's never no time when I got somebody. Ice Cube told everybody about Jerry Heller.
Yeah.
How that don't apply? All you hoes, it's my ego. He telling you.
Right.
But you don't want to listen because you think you gonna be a broke nigga. You gonna be a broke rob nigga because the last nigga that sold the last slave was the last nigga on the slave ship. Don't let that go over your head.
Nah,
Listen, man,
that's powerful. Yeah.
we was either bought, stole, or sold. Damn all the college degrees.
Yeah.
Malcolm X had an 8th grade education. Martin Luther King had a degree from Morehouse. They both got hit for the same cause. One of Martin Luther King's last speeches, one of his last statements was that he fears that he may have integrated his people into a burning building. Whom my comrade, rest in peace, Shaka Jahad, used to call America with the triple K.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I need you to text me that book, the info. I'm gonna put it in the description. That's gonna be the
Which
first
one? Which one did I mention?
the one you was just talking about with John Brown and uh
Oh yeah, 100 Amazing Facts
yeah,
with
yeah,
Complete
yeah.
Proof by J. Rogers. Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
one of the
yeah, yeah.
foremost historians of. Listen, once you get on to him, then you realize what has happened.
Right.
That's why Malcolm used to say, history of all sciences is best to reward our research. This is what the ruling classes use to manipulate and to rule over, to govern, to siphon, to rob, to rape, to pillage. Because it's a behavior pattern. And if they can predict your behavior pattern, then they can make it where your money is siphoned at a particular time. You're working to work in order to pay them so you can work.
That's that's wild. That's
Listen,
wild.
we are in a caste system.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book by Isabel Wilkerson called The Caste. It's called Caste. We are in a caste system, brother. And what I mean by that is when you talk about Gandhi, stop talking about Gandhi. Fuck Gandhi. Gandhi was a Brahmin, and Brahmins in that caste system is superior. So what these people did was copy that caste system and apply it through a European lens.
Right. Right.
So the people who are the Zionists and the Jews, they have a term in their language in Yiddish called goy. Look up that word goy or goyim, and it's called human cattle. Bring, stop. It's called human cattle. And when you are human cattle, and it's organized. Everything that they give you is people who are in the organization to continue the system. Your heroes, who you know, what they do. They create a loop of information to keep you pacified. And they trot people out who do the same work and got all the money in the jury and talking crazy and going all over. But what are they actually producing in terms of wealth in the communities that they come from? Why did they don't show you buildings in the same neighborhoods that they talked about they banged in that they done built up? With all that money that they got. Some of these dudes got hundreds of millions of dollars and they be throwing their fingers up as if the Crips or the Bloods are their number one enemy. How do you have 500, 600 million and a dude at Stop and Go is your number one op?
Right.
How that makes sense? And that's how you gonna make a living? Come on. You understand? That's what you call buffoonery.
Right.
We don't like, bro, like the time is of the essence that black people, black men and women come together and understand our collective position. They say hit dogs holler. We all been hit. That's why we all hollering, but we never paying attention to who hitting us all. They pick the information that we get and we tune in. Ain't nothing else to do. Crash wreck. What about the dead homies though?
Right.
So I told you yesterday, bro, we need to change the narrative of how rocking for the dead homies look. And this is a beginning.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Telling genuine stories of what those dudes' aspirations were before they were derailed.
And I now
We all
like
had
I
we
had
all
told
had
you,
dreams. Yeah.
like
Go
I
ahead.
told you, I had 30 years to live without my homie and achieve everything in life that he wasn't able to. And I didn't let him die in vain. I made
Right.
something out of my life. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cold yelling at everybody. Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
I'm telling you, man, it's a great feeling to pull up with guys like this, man, and just hang out, talk, kick it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of places
Yeah.
that we can get together, but we want to also, I want to say this too. I take a few cues from a lot of the greats, man, men and women in our history. You understand what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah.
Please never think that I'm talking or ever mentioning something without the black women,
Right.
right? Now, who you do and what you do, that's your business, but stay focused to what this means to us as a people. But I'm always including and always at the forefront is black women, bro. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a contest or a competition. We
Facts.
have to see we have to break the system down into the tangible parts to see how we all been affected. Again, we've all been hit. We do understand that it's been a systematic approach to our destruction, to our separation, to our division. If you want to see how people deal with you on an economic basis, pull the contracts of the businesses that they own in the communities. And you will see if the people who are other ethnic groups deal with you equally.
Right.
Right? This is real simple. Right? So
Right.
you always want to understand the position that black women have been in. You always want to understand the position that they were put in. Right? See, this is
Right.
not a one size fits all. And we making it that we allowing this to be that. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a travesty. Malcolm said
100.
we cannot raise no higher than the woman. Nigga, listen. You can't be a king and she a bitch and a hoe.
Facts.
That don't
Facts.
listen, man. Knock it off. You understand what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
gotta stop branding and shopping that shit around the world like that shit cool. Yeah, we know how we talk. But we got to be careful. If Andrew Schultz or one of them dudes had said what they said on the yard, if Andrew Schultz or one of them dudes would have said what they said on the yard, we would have put the yard down. Guaranteed. He gonna do what to who? Man, you know who you talking. You know, man, you better knock it off. Don't let these people think we just went up in there, man, and we was losing and we was getting ran. That's not what happened.
Right.
That is not what happened. And I'm not one of them guys that tell you that's their story. They could tell it. Nah. Like I told you, bro, I got my 115s, whatever, from whatever prison, whatever year, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Not the toughest guy, but I was in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was getting scraped, I'll tell you, yeah, man, I lost that. That was over. That dude ran me. That happened. You know, I had to regroup. You know, so we really have to include and understand the connection and the vibe with our sisters, man, on a deeper level than just they involved. You have to understand that we come from a matriarchal society and not a patriarchal society. Right. The Germans come from that. That's why they call the Germans, pay attention to the word, germ man. Listen, they come from the fatherland. Black people come from a matriarchal society. That's why we call it the motherland. Right. The prophets were born of women. Wallahi, assalam, walaikum assalam. They was born of women. From pure loins to pure wombs. So to villainize or to slander sisters or black women as a means of showing what a real nigga is, well, you got to question what kind of nigga came off the plantation. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? Because we all niggas to those in the ruling elite. I don't give a damn what that piece of paper said. Tell you about that. Listen, when they round you up, go look at what the Germans did. When they round the Jews up in Germany, they didn't give a damn if they was physicists or none of that. All y'all bring it this way. They used to sit them down and throw all that information and all that paper and all that, what they thought they were on paper, he could put that in the trash. Mm-hmm. That's what they did to us. All of our accomplishments before the world, the white people put them in the trash. And then we allowed them to put black women in the trash also. You understand what has happened to us as a people? Right. You can't move no further than black women, bro. I'm not against whoever you love, whatever you do, bro. That's you. This is not an Islamic state. This is not an African state. This, I know where we at. This United Snakes of America. But I'm not gonna continue to qualify my black position, my black loyalties, my black first, my every time we, you know, dudes had these conversations. Yeah. Either you own a yard or you're not. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to really pay attention what we offer and how we come about dealing with our sisters. You understand what I'm saying? So it's vitally important that we, as I told you before, brand promote that mentality in the hoods, in the urban culture. But I want the black women to understand also that black men, just like yourself, Queen, is on the black side of the chessboard. 85% of all black people date and marry black people. It's the highest percentage of any other ethnic group in the world, despite what TikTok or what these other social media groups would tell you. These are just the facts. Of black men making over $200,000, they are all married. 98% of them are married to black women. Just because you see a dude who is in the NFL or in the NBA with Suzy Q from, you know what I mean? Listen, be balanced minded. Some of them dudes y'all wouldn't spit on to quench their thirst.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now, don't act like we don't have colorism. Don't act like we ain't been affected by the traumas of white supremacy. I'm trying to get the crabs out the barrel back into the natural environment, and we can't do that if we hating on each other without understanding where the hate come from. I listen to the rap music. You will only think there's only light skinned women in the black community across the country.
Right.
How listen to these niggas talk about red bones? No hate, them is sisters. But don't
Right.
you see the unevenness of how we promote ourselves? It's like we producing this colorist mentality to fit in.
Right. Nah, that's
So
real.
we
You
have
see
to
it. They
include,
wearing
yeah,
blonde
go ahead.
wigs. They
Come on, man.
uh
Come on, bro. Come on. It's a taint on us.
yeah.
It's a taint on us. And we're not looking at it like that. We can celebrate each other and love each other in all shades and fades, right? But we have to really understand, like Curtis Mayfield said, we the people who are darker than blue. You have to understand that we did not get off the slave ship looking like Alicia Keys,
Facts.
Smokey Robinson, L. DeBarge, nigga, knock it off. Barry White, Isaac Hayes, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Stacey Abrams. Shout out to Stacey Abrams in Atlanta, Georgia. That's the baddest black woman on the planet right there. Besides our mothers. See, that's a movement.
Mm-hmm.
See, they not giving black women positive images. We not giving them. We're allowing the sisters to be inundated with the ratchetry.
Right.
You ain't gonna get no money off that. I guarantee you, and it ain't gonna last you once you get it.
Yeah. No, that's a
It's
fact.
on. Yeah, it's only gonna be so many of y'all that get rich off of going to them freak off parties with Diddy, cause that's gonna saturate. All y'all ain't gonna be able to get no bag off that.
And you know another thing too, man. This content is something, man, that'll last you and your family and the next generation. Some of the things that Brother Adisa is spoke on today, including the literature that he's dropped. And shout out to my guy Time in the comments for dropping that. What's this book called? As a Black Man Thinketh by Reggie Whitaker, and No Ashes in the Fire by Darnell L. Moore. Appreciate you dropping that time in the comments.
Yeah, I
That
read. I
that
read as a man thinketh in the penitentiary.
yeah. See, that's what we gonna be over here
Yeah,
doing, man. We gotta at least lead y'all to the knowledge, give y'all the resources, because that stuff that y'all watching on a daily basis is good for a giggle and a laugh and this, that, and the third. But is it really? Because the detriment,
it's not nourishing your spirit. It's not
yeah,
nourishing your soul. It's not nourishing the activity in your brain. It's not. It's only so much of that you can take. See,
facts.
this is a term that they use in math called dissolution. So take a cup of something that's halfway and then you get to pouring into it. After a while, that was already in the cup is overflowed, right?
Right.
So this is how recessions and the money and the economics work. So if you are continuing to inundate yourself with uh, non-reality based shows and literature and activities and escapist, that type of thing, your worldview becomes even more denser in its insularity. You
Hmm.
become so walled off. Now it's bitch, I don't give a fuck. We turning up. We got bottles.
Right.
Like that becomes your everyday life. You have to understand what it's gonna look like when you 50 and you got a 25-year-old tattoo somewhere that gravity ain't.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Listen,
Yeah.
You don't want to be the 55-year-old grandma twerking in the at crustaceans.
Yeah. And I got homies like that though. Right now, they going to the club at 50 some years old every Friday and Saturday.
We
I
got to
never
give them.
wanted to be
Listen,
the old nigga in the club. Now,
it's we know it's a cultural thing. Romy
yeah,
Rome was, you know what I mean? We know this a thing,
yeah,
but we want to give them other activities. We want to
yeah,
provide other opportunities. See, sometimes, bro, we don't think that the information that we have is vital or essential. See, this what the platforms are about. It's information based. What I
yeah,
told you last week was the Black Lives Matter movement mixed with George Floyd. Whether your opinion of it is whatever is irrelevant to what happened. For the first time in the modern age, Black people worldwide communicate with each other about our collective conditions in the world. I think we letting that go over our heads. The brothers
right,
and sisters in England, the brothers and sisters in France, the brothers and sisters in West Africa, the brothers and sisters in East Africa, the brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, irregardless of what slave owner tongue we speak, Spanish, French, whatever it is, English, Ebonics, Creole, whatever it is, if you identify yourself as somebody comes, our struggle, our past, then you have to realize we've all been communicating, right? The
right.
social media unintended consequence has allowed Black people to share ideas about their oppression and their oppressors. The people who've put in on the scam, the people who made money off the turning us into human cattle. Now we can see it all. We can see the people who love us. We can see the people who hated us. We can see that.
Right.
You would have never thought that Fat Joe would call Black people standing up for themselves broke niggas, but he did.
Yeah.
You feel me? He did.
Yeah.
He said that, right? To
Fact.
give you an idea of what happens when you take a stand and you delineate, means separate being a nigga from being black. See, Fat Joe been around niggas.
Right.
He ain't been around Black people. I had a situation not too long ago a couple days ago where the guy kept using the N-word with me. And I was cordial in trying to point out to him that if he's around certain Blacks who allow him to do that, then that's cool. But please don't walk up on a gang of Blacks just saying, "What's up with my niggas?" The yard gonna go down. You understand?
Yeah.
We don't do that, bro. And the first thing you have to protect is your identity. You understand? That's the most powerful thing, your identity. That's what they destroyed, not cash. What happens when the brick nations put 3 ounces of gold against $160 barrel oil? A real thing against a printed paper thing. Then with all that, I'm having bags and I'm getting bread and listen, man, you're in a delusion.
Right.
We're in a delusion. And
That's
we're
just like when
falsing it,
brothers
meaning
hold
that we
all that
get
money up to their ear, big stacks of
you
money.
not hearing
Everybody,
nothing. You not listen. They know you not looking at Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. They know you not paying no attention to that.
yeah,
You ain't never had to pay attention because you is a goyim. You are human cattle.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's this how you get a lick ran on you, being unaware.
right. That's why
So the
most people
women
don't
have to
even
always
realize
be
the
there.
bricks. They don't know
Yeah,
about bricks and
like
the
you
new
have listen,
currency and yeah,
listen, bro. That's the reason why they can exist is because You a slave and they're the master. So the relationship is symbiotic, slave master.
Right.
They feed you, they clothe you, they give you entertainment. Sometimes they make you mad and you set a fire here or there and you march and you throw your hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really, are y'all really that mad?
Yeah.
Are y'all really that mad? They had a white dude named Bill Maher. He used to have a show called Politically Incorrect. I used to
Incorrect.
watch that when I used to be in the cell with Eddie Boy. And one day, I forget who the so-called blacks were that was on there, but he told them, aren't you glad that despite what happened with slavery, y'all made the trip? I would have still been whooping. Listen, I would have changed yards whooping his ass. I would have went through R&R whooping his ass. You understand?
Facts. Like
And then
what?
they just sat there and let that like that's freedom of speech. Like that's freedom of speech. What? Nigga, freedom ain't free.
Right.
Yeah, it got a cost. It cost us. Come here, Brent.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like we, getting back to the sisters, man, we got to promote that, man, and really, really vibe and really, one sister was saying she throw brunches and don't know black men be there.
Right.
I said, where y'all at? Where y'all at? We got our own money. We could pay. I got a job. But that's the vibe. It's you know what I'm saying? It's a usury type relationship, transactional. You give me some coochie and I give you some money.
Mm-hmm.
That's transactional. But if the white boy pull up or the white girl pull up, oh man, they listen. It's something in us that they put in us that we automatically hate on. Something that we might not be familiar with or uncomfortable with.
Right.
But that's a distraction. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, you have to. Malcolm said this on a regret. They asked Malcolm, did he ever regret something? He said there was a white female college student, who asked him, what could she do? And Malcolm said nothing. Malcolm was at fire and brimstone. He was what? He said he regretted that. Right? He regretted that. Because you got to remember, we wouldn't be off the plantations without the assistance, without the overall of white people. Whatever their aim was, we was contraband. Real talk. We was contraband. Right? So this is chattel property, contraband. This is how they look, contraband, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Never human, never, if they was Hebrew Israelites then, they wasn't. What was the indigenous?
Right.
Huh?
You already know it's love, brother, and I'm glad we got to give them a small taste of what's to
For
come,
sure.
man. You know what
Much
I
more to
mean?
come, man. I told
Yes.
you, man, when we pull up, we gonna pull up.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed, brother. I
All right, man.
appreciate
I'm
you,
gonna let
man.
y'all go, man. I appreciate you, man, for having me on, bro.
Yeah.
And just hope, man, that they feel the love and the motivation, man, to get it done and to believe in us as a people, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
Yes,
have some
indeed.
hard conversations, some real conversations, no disrespectful conversations. But if
Yeah.
you ain't changing, you're choosing. You understand? So we have to make choices and decisions. We all done it. This is grown people's business. We grown. We wasn't responsible for our slavery, but we must be responsible for our freedom.
Mm.